ground.
What's up, guys? It's Quinn.
It is Alex.
It's IconicComic, and this is the what would you call when the ship leaves the harbor for the christening of
this is the first installment
of the On Your Left podcast with IconicComic.
And I'm eating chips.
This is exciting. Like it's real now.
And so, like, this is weird because, like, we're so used to talking to a camera. Now we're basically just
talking to ourselves,
which is like what we always do anyway. But
it's like it feels like we're forcing a conversation, but we're not. You know what I'm saying?
Then let's just relax,
get
and
comfy,
just have a conversation. We're on a couch.
Let me slip this off.
Oh my god! So, like, I don't even know what to talk about.
Well, let's talk about, it's the first episode of the podcast. How we got to this point. Let's try. Like, this is how we got to this point.
How we got to this point. So, I guess it all started. I forget who told me about the Joe Rogan podcast first. I think it might have been you.
Yeah.
So, I was like, I'm just gonna get comfortable. I don't know, like, started listening to his podcast. Well, I mean, like, I play it on YouTube and I leave it on to and fro work and
okay, just because it's a podcast doesn't mean you just do whatever you want.
Just laid back, man. And he's just talking to a whole bunch of different people, and then like we entertained the idea of doing a podcast, and then I started to look more into it, and everyone has a podcast.
Yeah.
Literally, it's the same with the YouTube channel. Like, you know what, dude? Let's start a YouTube channel.
It's easier once you do it. It's easier than you thought it would be. Just like YouTube, it's like, it's like I don't know. It's gonna be a huge job, a burden, whatever. It's like, why doesn't everybody have YouTube channels? Turns out they do, and not everybody should. Like, it's one of those things where it's. The internet is an amazing place, but it's also a horrible place because people can just do whatever they want, and some people don't deserve that right. I'm sorry. Like, some people haven't mentally earned that right.
Right, but then there are some people that, like, they're like, no one wants to watch their stuff.
Like, but there's some people who get super popular, and it boggles my mind because it's like King Ass Ripper. I learned about this from the Joe Rogan podcast. Tom Segura was on there or something, and he was talking about King Ass Ripper. It's this YouTube channel of this guy whose sole purpose is to just fart. And it's gluttonous farting and eating videos. It's disgusting.
It is really disgusting. Like, I'm glad I witnessed it on the podcast of Joe Rogan instead of like
not
happening upon
the YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah, because like when they were showing it, it was like it was more the audio that I was really worried about.
I'll tell you what though, the YouTube rabbit hole is a real thing. Like, I'll start like a legit. Okay, I have to look up a video how to make pie crust. Okay. Deep dive it. Now I'm into videos about monkeys and flat Earth and Tower 7. Back to King Ass Ripper, and then back to Gordon Ramsay food videos. Like, it all goes full cycle. Like, last night I was like, I was watching some Gordon Ramsay just funny videos, and then I started watching Gordon Ramsay actual. That's gotta be loud.
I bet it is.
Actual Gordon Ramsay, like, cooking food videos, which are very entertaining themselves as well. And it's like, I'm on this cut right now, and you ever, like, when you're dieting, like, for some reason you want to watch YouTube videos about food? Like, no. I've sat there and I watched about 30 or 40 videos in a row of him cooking a dish. Each one just, like, scratching my inner thigh. Like,
how long are these videos?
Like, 8 minutes each. I was up till like 5 in the morning last night.
Jesus Christ.
I know, just watching Gordon Ramsay cook.
Well, I can't. No,
you relate?
I can't. Well, no, I can relate because, like, you sit there and
it's not Gordon Ramsay.
Well, no, like, you find a niche that you enjoy, and then you're obsessed with it for hours upon hours.
Exactly.
And you just lose all time and
And
wind up staying up till 5 in the morning.
YouTube's a great thing because I discover new things that I like.
I don't know where this is going.
No, I meant like I discover new. What's the word? Like, I'll be like, that was a cool video. I don't know, like it's like some like the hydraulic press videos.
Yeah.
There's the hot hydraulic press.
Uh-huh.
I watched like 20 of those in a row because I saw one because it was in the trending.
Yeah.
I've been liking the trending more often now. I used to like hate it because it just seemed like, I don't know.
Do you like science?
Yeah, I love science. Here's the thing, I love science now. Hated it when I was in school.
Oh yeah. You ever just sit there and watch freaking Vsauce videos? Like the first with Michael with the glasses?
You lost me. Vsauce?
Yeah, you've never heard of Vsauce?
No.
Dude, okay, so it's...
Pull that shit up,
he's
baby.
He's a big YouTuber. I think there's like 3 Vsauce people, but Michael was the first Vsauce guy. And he talks about, like, what if the Earth stopped spinning, like, instantaneously?
We wouldn't die immediately, but we would die, like, pretty quickly
because, like,
it wouldn't be like a...
The Earth would just stop. Like, if you're in a car and you slam on your brakes and you fly forward, imagine an entire Earth. And, like...
Well, dude, it just bothers me that we worry about such pedantic little things in our lives. Like, you know, I'm not going to get political, but like politics in general, the fact that we worry about that when there is a rock that is a third of the size of us floating above us right now, and if it wasn't there, we'd be dead. No one talks about that. It's like if that thing was gone, it controls the tides, and we would be dead if it wasn't there. But we're worried about other stuff. Like the world, like there are meteors hurling through outer space at hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. And some of them are just missing us by just a little bit. And we're worried about nonsense on this planet.
Because a lot of people, they take a lot of things for granted. I mean, they're like normal life. Like every single day, you risk your life.
Getting in your car.
Cars kill more people than, like, a lot of things put together.
Do you know deers cause 1.5 million car accidents a year?
Yeah, that's a lot.
And that's just deers. Let's think about the other, like, I don't know how many car accidents
I'm not even going to
try to guess.
I'm not even going to pretend to cite sources. But, like, you take for granted, like, oh, I mean, like, someone, you know, you're driving on a 2-lane road and... Yeah, someone could just be like, you know what, I'm gonna die today, and I'm gonna take you with me. All right.
Yeah.
And then, like, you don't think about, like, I think if you thought about...
We put a lot of trust into other humans every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes really that's a bad thing.
I mean, like when I went to the gym, I would set my stuff down, like my keys or my phone, and walk to get something. It's like, you gotta think of it, like, theft is different, but, like... Let's just take theft, for example, though. If I put my keys down, okay, I'm at the gym. Let's think this through a little bit. Everyone there has a car because they had to drive there. So why would they want mine? You know?
That's my thought process sometimes. But other times, I'm like, well, if you take my car, I'm taking your car. Like... You know what I mean? Well, they'll know. Like, the police will know. Well, it was him. Like, I'll just run your plates.
Like, because they can't drive both of them.
Exactly. But that's definitely one I think about almost every day. Is like, I'll leave something sitting somewhere in public, especially at the gym. Like I go to an Anytime Fitness, and they have just... There's no locker room. They have cubbies, and then the gym, and then bathrooms, and changing, and showers, and stuff. But you take those cubbies, and you just put something in them, and it's like...
You know what I think it is? I think I just thought about it. Okay, so I think every single person that's going to that gym has the same fear.
Exactly.
And they're all risking the same thing. So it's like they all have a mutual fear, so they just don't take other people's stuff.
I guess just not many psychopaths get gym memberships. Like, not many sociopaths who just have a fetish for stealing things get gym memberships.
I don't know.
Well, it'd be really hard to pull it off, like, successfully a number of times. Like, I'm sure you could get away with snagging, like, some clothes.
Yeah.
Or, like, even earbuds, headphones, something like that. And you could get away with it. Like, someone stole... I think I've maybe gotten 3 things actually stolen from me in my life. And you know exactly what I'm talking about for this one. We went to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows.
No, it was the first one.
Are you sure? No, it was the second one because the first one was 2014 and this was my gym bag and I didn't start getting healthy till 2015.
I didn't see the second one.
You didn't come with me, but we had this conversation after it happened. So I went to CC's in Florence.
We did. Dude, you're messing it up. Dude.
No, I'm not.
I know for a fact.
Listen.
Because I was there.
Listen. The first Ninja Turtles came out in 2014. This situation happened at the beginning, the end of 2015. Because, or was it even 2015? It might have been like 2016.
Okay, because here's how I remember it. Okay? Here's how I remember it. The group of us...
When did Ninja Turtles come out?
The group of us... Here, I'll look up on my phone. Or no, you got it. The group of us went and saw the movie, but we went to CC's first. And then we all went to the movie, and then you were trying to find something in your bag, and you realized it was stolen.
Nope, see, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 came out in 2016. The reason that my... I hope they can't hear that.
That's fine.
It's a low guttural sound, but...
I need air.
The reason that I know it was last year was because... and it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, is because it was a gym bag. It had my mask and all my gloves
I know,
in it.
it had it all. I had all your stuff.
I did not start getting on the health train until the beginning of 2016.
All I know is that...
I didn't even own a gym bag before the beginning of 2016.
All I know is that I was at CC's with you when we all ate. We all went to a movie, and we left minus 1 gym bag.
See, I don't think you were there when it got stolen. I told you about it the next day because
you weren't there when it was stolen.
Remember? Because I was freaking out at the school, and you were like, well, where'd you leave it? What happened? And you were trying to get the story from me.
Oh.
So anyway, let's rewind this story from the beginning and how this happened.
I'm wrong. Totally wrong.
CC's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pre-gaming with pizza, and I it's unlocked right now. I leave my truck unlocked.
Why?
All the time.
That's just dumb.
There's nothing in it to steal except that one time.
Well,
I do lock my truck when I leave my gym bag in there, when I leave something in there that's valuable. Right now, the only thing that's in there that's valuable are the 30 coins that are in the cup holder and my Taekwondo belt. If they want those things, by all means, take it. I'll get a new one.
And the empty bottles and...
You can't take that stereo out unless you just took a fucking axe to it. That was our first F-bomb of the podcast. Now we have to make it explicit on iTunes.
You just need a screwdriver.
Okay. I don't think the Tacomas are as easy as the other one.
No, I've taken the radio out of my old one. It's the same way. You just use a screwdriver and you
Either way. So, I left it unlocked. Didn't even think about my gym bag. Even when I got home from the movie, I was like, you know what, I'll just leave my gym bag in here because I'm going to the gym tomorrow morning. I didn't look for it or anything. So, then I'm like, I get to the gym and I'm like...
school? Was I at...
You were at the school.
Oh.
The Taekwondo school. So, we get there and I think we had to clean or something.
I guess.
We had to clean the Taekwondo school. So,
wait, and then you were...
I keep freaking out, and I'm looking everywhere because I think it's here, because it wasn't in the truck.
Because you were like trying to find your shaker bottle to make a drink.
And it took you to tell me, hey man, maybe somebody stole it, for me to even think about that possibility. That thing didn't even enter my brain that it could be stolen. Because I didn't... I think I even used this phrase. I'm like, I think I just lost my innocence. I was like, I'm pretty sure this was the first time that humanity has really failed me. And you were saying it was probably some like heroin dealer like looking to grab something to sell. Dude, there was expensive stuff in there. I had 3 spinner electric spinner shakers and the elevation mask. Those things are not cheap.
And that towel that could.
Those things are like $8, but
it's
they're
the
nice.
principle.
It's the principle behind it.
Yeah. Still salty?
No, because actually the only thing I haven't replaced is the elevation mask, just because that's I don't know. No, leave it there.
I wanna hold the microphone.
Okay, fine. Well, see, my voice isn't being picked up as good.
Try it now.
It's being picked up better now. See, clearly.
Sorry, I'm just screwing around.
Here, keep talking. I'm sorry, I have to pee.
You have to pee? How am I gonna talk to myself?
I don't know. Just figure it out.
I'll talk to my... Alright, I guess I'll
You're still talking to them.
talk to myself. This is weird. I'm not in front of a camera. No one's looking at me. Well, no one looked at me when we record reactions, but... Oh, man. Podcasting stuff. Like... I get stuff wrong all the time. I swear. Like, my memory... I think it's really good, but then when someone starts like poking holes in my logic, I slowly start to be like, oh crap, yep, you're right. It happens all the time. I mix up my days. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have to get on that alpha brain or something that Quinn's on. I don't know. You didn't wash your hands.
I did wash my hands.
You didn't wash your hands. You liar.
Smell them?
No, don't touch me.
Whew. It's good pee. Dude, like, sometimes when you pee, it's... Are we not going to talk?
Let's go. No, let's go.
I was just thinking, like, there are a few things in life that are free. That just bring you... Like, I was just thinking about it in there. There's a few things in life that are free that happen every day that you can just almost meditate in. Like, you're taking a dump, you're taking a pee, you know, you're taking a nap. It's almost like they're all forms of meditation in a way. Like,
well, yeah.
Like, even farting sometimes. Like, dude, have you ever had a fart where you're just like...
I had a fart today.
Wow, we're getting in deep now.
I had a fart today, dude. Oh, I was on the toilet. Like, you ever have one, like, from your stomach, and it feels like your stomach was the balloon, and it just...
Or the whoopee cushion?
Yeah. Yeah! You get it. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's some farts, you fart, and you're like, oh, man. Like, that hurt a little bit. But then others, it's like, it's so... I don't know. There's just something about farts. They're the funniest thing in the world, but to some people, there's two kinds of people. To some people, they're either the funniest thing in the world, or they're complete taboo. They're complete. You know, don't bring that
so
shit
offensive.
In my house.
I think I think we've established what type of people we are.
Exactly. I think it's just it's got to do with like what you found funny as a kid, like. Oh yeah. And what like my parents were definitely okay with fart humor.
Oh yeah.
And my dad less than my mom for some reason.
Really? I thought that'd be the other way around.
No, my dad doesn't. My dad's actually on the. Oh my god.
You can see the fart.
My dad like is just not into that stuff. But my mom will just rip it like whenever. And
now are they gonna listen to this and be like, Quinn?
I hope not. Either way.
Sorry, Mom.
They don't care about my YouTube or podcasting life. Like I'm pretty sure they watched like 2 of my videos.
Your videos?
Our videos. You know what I thoued about it as soon as I said it, I was like, he's gonna get mad and he's gonna say your video.
I guess this is how it is.
This is how it ends. Like we had a good run.
I wonder if I put the microphone here.
I think it's perfect because I think it'll be too loud. Like look at where that green line's going. Because if you start talking really loud, it gets really high. And,
all right. Well, whatever.
But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about a great fart. It can change your day.
You ever have one that scratches you?
Oh.
Like, in a good way, like, it itched, but then you let one, and then the itch is gone.
Kind of. Not too many. They're very rare. Like, to have that phenomena happen at the same time.
It's rare, but when it happens, it's
a thing of beauty.
It's
or booty.
Oh my god.
Man, we need a Jamie. Like,
have you ever went back to the bathroom just to wipe?
Yes.
Yep.
I will admit that right here for the entire internet.
Okay, a lot of people have
not admitted it, probably.
But I feel like there's people listening right now that are just like, oh my god.
Very quickly. It's not like I was like 2 hours later. I'm talking like within 2 minutes or 3, I just kind of feel a little too itchy down there for comfort. And I'm like, I probably didn't finish.
So you walk out of the bathroom and turn right back around?
No, I'm saying within like 2 minutes. Like, I start walking around and I'm like, something's not right. There's a glitch in the Matrix. Like, I'm like, I go back and sometimes it's not that. Sometimes my butt's just itchy from taking a dump. But we've jumped off the deep end for this one. For our first podcast.
Oh my god, I think we're losing viewers.
Yeah.
Or subscribers.
But other times, it's like, I totally didn't do a bang up job with this with this cleanup. Like,
alright, okay, so the last thing I'm gonna say about pooping.
About poop.
So I think I figured out how to get it all off. You ready?
I wonder if we have the same idea.
Okay,
here.
so
we both figured it out. Like,
I think because I feel
this better not be too visual. This is a podcast.
No. I haven't talked to. I haven't talked to girls about this, but I know. Well, okay.
Get your girlfriend in here.
No. I feel like as a whole, guys, they just have unwritten lessons that they have to just learn as guys. I'm sure girls have the same thing, but I'm not a girl, so I don't know what they have to learn. But I know as a guy,
it's kind of a human thing too, just like adaptation to your surroundings.
Yeah, guys in general, they have these unwritten, like, not like, okay, you're gonna learn how to wipe your butt the right way today. No, like, or
it's a trial and error.
or like, okay, here's a day where you learn how to rip a paper towel with one hand.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? So it's things
like when you were a kid, it didn't work. You saw your dad do it, and you try to do it, and you pull.
Or toilet paper, you try to rip that one-handed.
Dude, I've mastered that skill. I'm almost proud of how much I've mastered that skill.
I don't. Okay.
But it has to be over. The roll has to be facing over. If it's under, you can't do that.
Yeah, there's right and wrong,
Exactly.
So anyway, what I was going to say. So instead of having your hand... Like, okay. Let me ask you this.
Is this going to get really nasty?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I'm going to say, we got kind of nasty, but I think we pulled it back.
No, I'm not going into detail of grotesqueness. Grotesqueness?
Sure.
I'm not going to be grotesque. So... Do you wrap around the fingers or do you wad it up?
Yes. It depends on the poop, dude.
Okay. Anyway, so...
Liquid, it's a wad, because it's just more of a dab. Like, it's a...
Anyway.
It's a bounty, quicker picker-upper.
I said I'm not going to get grotesque. And then
well, you asked.
Okay, anyway. So instead of having your hand flat, you take your pinky and your index finger... And you make it into like a spoon.
It's like a shovel, or a
there it is.
Or what are a garden?
A hoe.
No, not because the hoe's this thing.
No, a hoe.
No, a hoe is the thing that goes up and then flat at the top.
Oh, you're right.
Is it a trowel? A garden trowel?
I don't garden. I don't know.
If you guys know, let us know what that is.
Just let us know,
It's the small shovel used to scoop dirt when you're gardening. I think it's a trowel. I'm going to be...
And it's got the measurements, too, and inches so you know how deep you're digging.
Well, here's the thing. There's a game changer out there, and it's called a bidet. And I'm getting one when I'm older. Now, you still need to dry off, because you can't just pull up your pants soaking wet.
So you still have to buy toilet paper.
You can use a towel.
Why would you use
because there's no poop on it. It's just...
How do you know? Like, you can't see. How do you know?
Okay, so I've been to hotels where the toilet itself had a hose attached to it to wash your ass off. No toilet paper in this hotel at all. Where you wash your ass off with this hose, then stood up and went over to the bidet for the ultra wax cleaning, I guess, like the car wash style, where it just drains you out. And it works. You just have to trust the process. You have to trust it, because if you don't, then you're going to be nervous, you're going to get up too early, you're going to be poop hanging off your ass.
I guess.
But it's a game changer, man. And you know what? The future is scary to an extent. Like, we always think flying cars, all this stuff. I think toilets are going to be the first thing that get super revolutionized before even cars.
Because it's something little in your life where you don't, like you take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, I expect a toilet to be there if need be.
Toilets, it's... Now I'm just thinking about, like, the individual thing. Like, a toilet in itself, you ever, like, it's kind of like the thing, you ever say a word so many times, it gets weird. Like, the word doesn't feel like it's a real word anymore. Just thinking about the concept of a toilet is kind of funny. Especially communal ones. Like, public ones. It's like, okay, we're not Adam and Eve anymore. We all wear clothes, and being naked in public is not a, society norm. But there's this one place where we congregate to take our pants off and sit on the same piece of porcelain and relieve our bowels. It's just so weird to think about.
But you're not... but you're
how
not
many asses do you think have, contacted yours through seat?
Have you seen the meme where it's like when you sit on a warm toilet seat, what it feels like, and it shows one person sitting like normal and the other person is sitting upset, like their butts touching, like what that feels like?
See, I think like there's two moments in your head when you sit on a warm toilet seat. The first is, oh yeah, and the second is, why is this warm? Like, it's a cycle.
Like it's fresh.
Okay, we need to change this subject because we're getting into a dark place.
All right.
No pun intended. But do you understand what I was saying there before?
I understand what you're talking about.
A toilet is just such a taboo, odd thing.
It's not taboo.
Well, I'm just saying we take it for granted to the fact that it's like, we all let our pee-pees hang out and
how old are you?
Take a dump.
Why do you call it a pee-pee?
Well, I just said that. I didn't want to be vulgar, like that vulgar, and just take dumps on this piece of glass. But we all share the same ones. Like I said, how many times or how many butts do you think your butt has come into like contact with via the toilet seat? It's almost like the sex thing. It's like you have a sex with a girl has sex with a guy. It's like you're having sex with everyone they've had sex with. Like, they say that. I feel like it's worse with toilets, especially porta potties.
Oh, dude, I'm
gonna freak you out here in a second.
I don't sit all the way down.
I do.
I try not to.
And there's something almost oddly satisfying about a porta potty where it's just like almost primal. Like, because it's about as close to shitting in the woods as you can get without shitting in the woods. You know what I'm saying? There's no plumbing. It's outdoors. The only thing separating this from the complete outdoors is 4 plastic walls. But the amount of videos I've seen on YouTube of people kicking over porta potties scares me. Dude. Absolutely scares me. Like, could you imagine if your friends just decided, like, one day, like, you know what? I'm doing it. And drop kick it. And
like, with me in it?
Yeah, and
they wouldn't be my friends anymore.
Like,
no. I would immediately try to hug every single one of them.
You wouldn't be able to stop vomiting.
I would be so angry.
Like, okay, so just imagine it's a porta potty at a Renaissance fair.
What I would do, honestly, if that was me, I would like muster up the energy from throwing up, and I would look at one of my friends. Or no.
And make a beeline.
I probably wouldn't look at them because then they know I'm coming in hot. So I would I would immediately, and if I couldn't catch them, I would take my hands and I'd probably throw up more.
Monkey it.
I'd monkey it, like just rub myself, and then just like you ever wash your hand? Like, well, you've washed your hands before, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You wash your hands and you take the water and you just like flick your fingers into the sink.
Yeah.
That's what I would do to my friends with poop.
Okay. Let's really change the subject now. That had to have been at least a 15, 16-minute conversation about
All right,
poop.
so let's talk about the waiting the line thing, because that was actually a whole lot of fun.
Nice segue.
That there's no segue, like
There's
that,
no clean segue. It's just kind of like a...
yeah, changing gears. But like, we were coming up with the questions, like, or we were thinking about how we would answer the questions, and the one that I keep thinking about is like, if you could guarantee a conversation between one Guardian and one Avenger. Obviously, the ones are like Star-Lord and Tony and Cap and Rocket, but then there were some that really hit me, like Groot and Hulk.
That'd be hilarious. I'm Groot. Hulk smash. I'm Groot. Hulk smash. Do you think Groot's going to be full size again by the time Infinity War rolls around?
I think he should be.
Yeah. If anything, logic aside, you're talking about a talking tree, but logic aside, I just feel like for the purpose he's probably going to play in Infinity War, he would need to be... Well, like, Baby Groot would not work.
Well, the thing is, though, like, and spoiler alert, I guess, in the after credit scene...
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, well, in one of the after credit scenes, he was a teenager.
Yeah.
Peter Quill was wearing the same shirt that he was wearing the whole movie. I thought. I could be wrong.
No, he wasn't. It was like a long sleeve black shirt.
Okay.
Even so, even if he was, I'm sure they washed their clothes.
Well, yeah. But they're still on the ship, though. So you'd assume that, they weren't...
I think he grows pretty fast.
Like weed?
Oh my god. Like, I'm certain he probably grows faster than a human.
Ooh, yeah, okay. I have something. I have a question that I'm going to propose.
Go ahead.
Here in a sec. I was going to finish talking about...
Oh, what do you mean?
I thought you were saying more.
Ask your question.
Okay, so this is a spoiler alert. So
for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah, for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So when Peter's dad was a Celestial, which makes Star-Lord half Celestial.
Yeah.
So he still had the power of a Celestial.
Not anymore, though, that the planet was destroyed.
Right. So he couldn't hold an Infinity Stone ever again like that.
I guess not. Unless he still has, kind of blood, the power to do that just because he's blood relative to one. But that would be stretching it kind of far. I would lean towards no, that he couldn't do it again.
I would lean towards no as well. Yeah.
But I don't think that they should play that card again. Like, it would feel a little too forced, you know what I mean? Or too close to the original Guardians.
Who do you think could hold one?
Adam Warlock.
Okay, besides Adam Warlock.
Like, hold bare-hand it?
Like, straight up bare...
Vision.
Bare knuckle it.
I think Vision could. There's no reason Vision shouldn't. He's an android, basically. I mean, he's synthetic. He's got some skin molecules, but
he's holding one now.
Also vibranium
he's got
in
one.
his head.
Oh, I mean, like palming it.
I mean, is there much of a difference, really?
I guess not.
But I would say Vision. I honestly don't think Thor could, as powerful as he is. If we're talking Avengers, Hulk maybe depending on the stone,
because that regenerative power he's got.
Well, here's the thing: the Tesseract, when it's in the cube form, it could be held by certain people. But like the only reason like some people dropped it or if it was hot was because it was just being used like recently.
Yeah, like a battery.
Yeah, but like Red Skull was holding it. Obviously, I mean, I know he got teleported somewhere.
I think Red Skull could hold an Infinity Stone.
Not like I said. I think it has to be a certain one, and the Tesseract is the encasing of the Infinity Stone. The Infinity Stone is inside that cube, so you have to crack that thing open. It's just like the ether. You got to form that liquid into the stone. The Mind Stone's already in stone form. The Power Stone's already in stone form. We haven't seen the Soul Gem yet, but the Time Stone's already in stone form. So it's gonna be interesting to see like how, like the Tesseract and the like. It'd be cool if you see a scene of him like breaking it open or whatever. But I'm so intrigued by how they're gonna, because I don't think it's gonna be one movie. It's gonna be two, because he's got to get them still. Yeah. He doesn't have them all. He does not have the Time Stone. He may have the Soul Gem. Maybe that's how they introduce the Soul Gem, just in Infinity War. He's got it already. But I feel like that'd be kind of shortchanging the Soul Gem, because every movie that has introduced an Infinity Stone has shown the power of said Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
It hasn't shortchanged it. I feel like they would shortchange it if they just went, he's got it.
Okay, so what movie before Infinity War could have the Soul Gem?
It's got to be Thor or Black Panther. Spider-Man's not going to have it. There's no way. There's no purpose. It would be dumb. My money leans towards Thor, but I would not be shocked if, for some reason, Wakanda had it. For some reason. And I'm sure they would explain it.
What does the Soul Gem do again?
Like, it depends on the comics you read. You know, it can bring people back to life.
I've seen different, like...
There's been runs where it's brought people back to life. Oh, stop.
Okay, so what if in Wakanda, like Black Panther starts, and Black Panther's dad is there, and they're like, I don't know who would be in Wakanda. Cap sees, what was his name?
Bucky.
No. Black
T'Challa?
Panther's dad. No, Black Panther's dad.
I can't remember his name.
Anyway, so...
T'Chaka.
That's
I'm
it.
pretty sure it's
yeah.
T'Chaka.
So they walk in, and Cap sees T'Chaka and just starts flipping out. Like, he thought he'd seen it all. And then...
He gives him $10 for $5.
And then he starts talking about this ancient artifact that has breathed life into the Wakandan people.
And maybe in this version only works almost like the Resurrection Stone in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can see them, talk to them for a little bit, but they'll never actually be fully in the world again.
T'Chaka's back, y'all. Like, boom.
I wouldn't like that, to be honest with you. I wouldn't. No. But I think it is completely possible for
that whole
Black Panther.
Thing was just spur of the moment. I'm sorry I said it. It was just...
Black Panther's going to be something special. Like,
it's going to be awesome.
Dude, the next... Every movie is going to be awesome in the next couple Marvel movies, but I think like Phase 3 is just something giant.
Yeah.
You got Civil War, which kicks it off with a friggin' drop kick to the face. Then it kind of brings it down, but at the same time goes crazy with Doctor Strange. Then you have Guardians, which is just this humongous space opera, which is just completely different than the other two movies we just watched. Then you have Spider-Man, which is this neighborhood hero, completely different than the other three movies we just saw.
Why can't you just be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Exactly. So every movie, except for maybe Thor, I think Thor is going to have a Guardians vibe to it.
Why'd you put Thor in quotation marks?
Did I? Sorry.
You're
I didn't see it.
Thor,
he's gonna have a Guardians vibe of his movie, but I also think it's gonna be like I think the trailer is slightly misleading because we didn't see anything in that trailer. A lot of that trailer could be middle to end of that movie. We didn't see anything with Doctor Strange finding Odin. Thor's on Earth trying to find Odin. So that's a whole chunk of the movie. So I'm thinking we can have this whole murder mystery, kind of whodunit, mixed with a space opera, kind of Guardian style, like Winter Soldier style. I don't know. Thor's gonna be.
It's gonna be giant.
This is the first time I've been pumped
about a Thor
movie. Because even Dark World, I was excited because it was post Avengers. I wanted to see where the Avengers were, and the first Thor was cool because I never thought I'd get a Thor movie, to be honest with you. And I love the first Thor. But this is the first one where I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, because Thor 1 was so good. It was just so new because we were introduced to Thor.
But we didn't get a lot of Asgard. And we're going to get a lot of, like... That's the big thing to complain about the Thor movies. Is it's like we haven't seemed to get enough of Thor's background and culture. We're too focused on characters like Natalie Portman's character and Kat... what's her name? Is it Kat Jennings? Or,
I don't know. I forget.
Her partner's character and like those Earth characters, which is fine to an extent, but it's like we're watching a movie about a pouty space god and we're like on Earth the whole time. No, let's throw this thing. Let's go balls to the wall with this, and let's go Asgard. Let's jump around these planets up there. So that's why I'm really excited about this one.
Well, what I was saying before you started talking again was, like, Thor 2 Dark World, like, sorry, let me start over. The Thor 1 was a really good movie. So when Thor 2 was coming out, we were so excited because Thor 1 was so great. But some people may have liked it some people may have loved it, but I think overall, I think the consensus was it didn't really live up to the expectations that we were hoping for. So I think they knew, they had to know, they know that, so they're gonna bring it home with Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, and then you got Black Panther, which is I'm really excited because
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's after.
That's after Infinity War, dummy. I'm just excited.
When you're like Black Panther was definitely a standout in Civil War. He was the.
That was the first time we saw him. He was
on
something
screen.
new.
It was just like
new.
What? But yeah, it's like he was definitely.
Go get your food. God damn it.
He was definitely one of the standouts with Spider-Man, of course. And they introduced him perfectly. As did Spider-Man. It was just sort of a... Here he is. He's had these powers. We're done with origin stories in the Marvel Universe. Yeah. It's almost like...
We're not done.
We're used to...
We're not done.
Captain Marvel will be, I bet, the last origin story.
I have a point to that, but keep going.
I think Captain Marvel will be the last origin, because even Feige has said we're not doing origin stories really anymore. Like, well, he even said Doctor Strange was the last origin story. So that makes me wonder, are they going to kind of pull the same thing with Captain Marvel, where it's like she shows up, oh my, like at the end of Infinity War,
start busting in.
At the I buy it. You know, at this point, you know, just they're I'm like one of those ducks that you have to force feed to get the foie gras. That's how you get that, like the liver. You have to like force feed ducks so their liver is huge. So it's like at this point, I'm the duck, the movies are the funnel, and Marvel is just force feeding me this stuff to the point where I'm like, you know what? Bring it. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm built up this immunity to everything that you've thrown at me. Shake it up a little bit, and I think they're gonna shake it up. By the way, we've said spoiler alert before this. We're probably going to talk about Guardians 2 again at some point. So if you haven't seen that or any Marvel movie up to that point, just a spoiler alert.
Unsubscribe. If you haven't seen a Marvel movie and you're listening to this podcast, just go ahead and now. I have a point for when he gets back. He's got a small bladder. I don't even know what to do. I have a point to origin stories because it's like. So we're excited for Infinity War, obviously. We're excited for all these movies that are coming out. What's next? Like, what's after that? Is Marvel gonna go just strictly to Netflix shows? Which I'm not totally opposed to that. I think, you know, I mean, big powers like that, they rise and fall. And Marvel has just been on its game for years. And eventually empires fall. Quinn, did you hear any of what I was saying?
No.
Oh, it was good, too. When you come back, I have a point. Well, I guess you can hear me from there.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because what I was saying to this microphone here, like... When salt? I don't know. We have some. I forget where it is.
Keep talking.
Oh crap! Now I forgot what I was saying. No. Okay. So, I was saying that Marvel is this big power, this empire, but empires rise and fall.
Do that now?
Yeah, they kind of do. That's just the way things go. That's how the entertainment world works. And you know, like I just said, that you know, Marvel's been on its game for just years and entertaining for generations. But after Infinity War, after you know Ant-Man and the Wasp, after
it's gonna be hard.
After all these movies, that's what I was saying about the origin stories. How are you going to introduce Inhumans?
Well, Inhumans will be introduced by the time... Inhumans is coming out in September this year.
Is it a show?
It's a TV show. They're not doing the movie anymore.
Okay. What I was saying, though, like, with the new Avengers or something, on the big screen, they're going to have to introduce more heroes that this generation of MCU fans...
I don't think they will, though, because they're already doing that right now. They're setting up a whole new team of Avengers. With
the Netflix shows?
No. So after Infinity War and everything, this is a guess, obviously. I don't know what Marvel's doing. I don't work there. But what they've been doing lately, I think there will be an entirely new team of Avengers, consisting of Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Wasp, the newest people that we've had at the back end of these phases.
Okay. What about right after that?
I think they'll just keep doing that formula, where that will be the core group of Avengers for the next two phases. They'll ladle in a new character here,
Moon Knight,
in there, yeah,
something
like a new character here and there
Cloak and
to
Dagger.
set up the next Avengers. They said they have a plan up through like 2029, which I'll be over 30 years old, and like Marvel movies will still be coming out, which is cool. I mean, if they can pull it off, that's awesome. Yeah. But they better pull it off.
Right. I have faith, but you gotta question a little bit, what's gonna happen. What'd you say?
Salt.
Salt? Look at the pantry. You see the big pantry?
This one?
Pantry.
This thing?
Yeah, that's our pantry. Top shelf.
Salt in the fucking pantry.
Jeez. Like, now you just made me angry. Like,
that I couldn't find the salt in your house?
Like, no, that I say pantry, and you start looking in cabinets. Do you not know the names of things in a kitchen? Clearly not. I don't know. Obviously, I want to keep watching these Marvel movies. I want things to keep going the way they are. But, you know, like I said...
all good things must come to an end.
All good things must come to an end. All great empires fall.
So I hope they end on a high note. I don't want the
DC
MCU,
versus Marvel.
I don't want the MCU going out, like, on a Moon Knight movie that bombs. You know what I mean?
You can put this on the floor. Yeah. Like, I don't want them to end on, like, their version of Green Lantern. Like,
exactly.
They're not their version, but they're equivalent to, like, Green Lantern or something. So.
Whoa. There we go. There it is.
Sorry, if I put the mic here?
Whoa.
No.
Just scoot that way and then put it in the same spot.
Yeah, you're right.
Perfect. Ooh, sorry, I had to go get my dinner. I'm trying not to chew into the mic.
They can hear that.
That was really good.
I'm sure it is.
Go to Core Life Eater. They're not a sponsor. They're just
sponsored by.
No, they're.
Is that egg? Are there eggs?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm waiting to see if the microphone can pick it up.
I don't think it is. I'm pretty quiet.
Well, this microphone's pretty good too.
But yeah. Let's talk about DC.
All right, we talked about DC. Let's move on.
I really think they're turning a corner.
I hope.
I mean,
I really do.
I'm all in with Wonder Woman. The trailer, everything I've seen from Wonder Woman has been fantastic. Somebody told me that everything we saw with Batman vs Superman was fantastic. I was like, incorrect. Remember the trailer where they showed Doomsday in the trailer? You don't know how angry that made me.
Yeah.
At that, my blood was boiling. I was so mad.
Because the whole time you're watching the movie, like, well, where's Doomsday?
Exactly.
Where's Doomsday?
And I know they're going to get together and form a team to fight Doomsday. It even shows at the end of that trailer the team shot. Like, how awesome would that have been if we had never seen any of that before?
Yeah, and when you title a movie Batman versus Superman, and then you show them working together at the end, you congratulations, you just played yourself.
I hate to go back to Marvel. Civil War was Civil War. They fought. They didn't team up. They weren't good, with each other at the end. They fought. To the death to some extent.
Yeah.
I think Tony was going to kill one of them if he didn't get shut down.
Yeah, he was going to kill Bucky.
Or Cap if he got in his way, maybe. We don't know. And, thank God Cap shut him down and we can still have an Avengers team by the Infinity War.
Well, it's just prolonging the death of Captain America. So.
Oh my God. Hey, if it needs to be done to make a great story, it needs to be done. I mean, I'll cry like a baby girl.
It needs to happen.
Oh my God.
It needs to.
Somebody does.
There
needs to be. I think there needs to be more than one major death. It needs to be a gut punch and then, okay, and then slam in the face like
Wanda.
No, that wouldn't be a slam in the face. No, don't get me wrong.
Really?
Scarlet Witch is one of my favorite characters.
See, but
I wouldn't be slammed if she died.
I think it would be not as big.
We need a core Avenger.
Hold on. Let me talk. So, if you would just let me talk. No, so you have Scarlet. They're probably not going to kill her off, but if they did, it's not really a huge gut punch to us, but we do feel. You'll see Hawkeye, weep.
I think Hawkeye's a goner.
See,
he is such a goner.
See, I don't think he'll die. But
I see Black Widow dying.
Hold on, let me get back to what I was saying. So, let's say Scarlet Witch dies. You see Hawkeye just beside himself because he was the big brother for her when, spoiler alert, her brother dies.
Well, even before that,
you
sit on your ass,
he not.
You walk out the door.
I mean,
you're an Avenger.
No pun intended, but he took her under his wing.
Oh God.
But he did though. So to see him upset, I'm talking upset enough to just that ugly cry you do,
that I do personally.
No, I mean, well, you're ugly when you cry, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
But no, when somebody has a really ugly cry, a good cry. So then after that,
I like epic cries.
Yeah, an epic cry.
When he died, when Quicksilver died, and she fell to her knees, that gives me goose pebbles every time.
What?
Sometimes I call them goose pebbles, goosebumps.
Why?
I don't know.
You're dumb. No, but okay, so that wouldn't be as big of a gut punch to us as the viewer, the fan, but then later in the movie, Cap gets it.
Why does it gotta be Cap? Why can't it be Thor?
Thor's a god. He can't die.
Yes,
okay,
he can,
but he's no.
Ultron held him down.
No.
No. Oh, so when it's your favorite, look. This is what's gonna happen.
What if Hulk dies?
This is what's gonna happen. Nah, I could be completely wrong, but this is what I think should happen. It doesn't even have to be these specific characters, but just something along these lines where something. I'm not gonna say how they died because I don't want to get really specific, but say Cap dies, and then Tony, is down on a knee talking to Cap, just kind of his vision in Age of Ultron. And, he gets up and, heroic music starts playing. And, it's like, we're going to do it for Cap, blah, blah, blah. And then Tony gets off. They gut punch, bring it back, levity, bam, they off Tony, right away. And it's just, and Thanos is just, badass of all badasses at that point.
Dude,
don't F with him.
Oh my god. Then they have a funeral for both. And they get a 21 gun salute. Just... But, okay,
21 plasma.
So what if... Or 42.
Oh my god.
Double it.
1942. World War II. Steve Rogers. Man out of time.
Oh my god.
I'm not the one who's out of time.
Anyway, so Tony's down on one knee. And Cap's with his dying breath, goes, "You got a heart, kid." or "No, wait. No, I got it. Oh wait, you're
Stop hitting me, just spit it out.
You're gonna freak out. Okay,
So, just tell me.
So Iron Man is "Oh my god, are you okay?" And he's getting emotional because Friday is reading his vitals and they're slowly going and then Cap leans up and goes, "I could do this all day," and then just dies.
Nah, I don't want him to die after saying that. I want him
it's
Friday, read his vitals. He's running out of time, sir. I get that a lot.
It's these lines that they're never
gonna happen.
They're never gonna hit the screen.
Thing is, I hope that these lines we're freaking out over, oh my god, the ones that actual writers make up are gonna be crazy better than what we can make up.
He's laying down and Iron or he's not dying.
On your left.
No, he's not dying, but he just got knocked down, and Iron Man comes in and just kind of puts a hand out, "You alright, Cap?" And then he's "You kidding me? I can do this all day."
Stands up, gets decapitated by Thanos immediately.
I could do this all. Boom.
There is gonna be a tear flooding moment in that movie. I mean, there literally has to be.
See,
if not, it will be a failure of a movie. I will say it right now. If a major core Avenger from Phase 1, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, or Hawkeye, one of those 6 needs to die. I don't like saying it. One, if not more, I think even more, should die. Vision's dead. He is on borrowed time right now.
He's running on fumes.
I think Black Widow could definitely be a goner as well.
See, I don't think so though. I think it's got to be Cap.
I think Cap's dying too.
No, I think it has to be Cap. Because
I think it also has to be Tony.
Are we gonna fight about this?
No, I'm just saying. I think. Don't get me wrong. I agree with Cap, but I also think that Tony is even more important because what did this all start with?
No,
it starts with Iron Man.
I think that Iron Man is gonna stay alive because of the reason that you think he should die. Because he's so important, and Thanos recognizes that. He's got to. I think with Cap dying, it's really going to send Tony off the edge.
Well, if Thanos realizes Tony's so important, why doesn't he kill him?
Because he's got that ego. Thanos knows for a fact that he can beat the Avengers. He knows he can beat them. We know he really can't.
Well, yeah,
they have to beat him somehow.
Could you imagine?
Avengers
4, they lost. That's the end of the MCU, and it's over. They all die.
Or they lose in the last Rocky Balboa. They lost, but they have some respect. No, Thanos will murder them.
They all die, and then no movies for 10 years, and then all of a sudden we get an announcement in a trailer
No,
back.
I think Tony's going to stay alive. I think Thanos is going to keep him alive because it all started with Tony.
I don't know. I'm torn on.
But you could totally make the argument because it started with Tony, they're going to kill him.
It needs to end with Tony. Like, I think it's a necessary death. I think it needs to happen.
But it's not going to end.
The arc that started in Iron Man 1, that's finishing in Avengers 4.
Like the war that started this all. The sound of you eating is gross. I'm not sure if they can hear it, but Jesus.
I hope not. I'll edit that out.
No, don't. Keep it. No edits.
No edits. No cuts. No butts. No coconuts. Yeah, I don't know. I love how we went, alright, let's talk about DC. I'm sure people right now are just going like, didn't they just say we're going to be talking about DC?
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, so...
It's got to be Tony, though.
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding.
Thanos just needs to be... He needs to be ridiculous. Like, he needs to be... I want him to be Negan-esque. You know what I mean? Like, I love to hate him. And I hate that I love him.
Yeah.
Like, he's that cool of a villain. It's like, I don't want him to be a pushover. I don't want the Avengers to beat him, in a way. Like, I'm almost rooting for him to do something.
Like, you don't want a Zemo where he's, like, kind of...
a puppet master.
Like, right behind the scenes, just kind of nudging.
I will be pissed if it's like, it works for the Avengers, and it works for Age of Ultron, but you cannot build Thanos up to this might, and then have him on a throne with a legion of cannon fodder. Well, you cannot do that. I will be...
Wait.
And you know what? I'm honestly scared. I'm scared that it could happen.
I got it. So, you know the iconic...
Comic?
Snap?
Yeah.
And kills everybody?
I think that'll happen.
What if Thanos is on his throne and he's got a legion in front of him, and he sees the Avengers, the Guardians, and everybody, and that snap doesn't kill the Avengers. It evaporates his legion, and then he stands up and down the stairs. What? Dude.
Do you think that because I think it would be a missed opportunity if they didn't do the snap. I think they're doing it. But do you think that with that snap, some Avengers will disappear? Like, I could see...
I don't know.
Maybe that's how they get Hawkeye and Black Widow out of the fight.
Like, they send them back to Earth?
No, like, the snap evaporates them. Eventually, everybody's going to come back to life. Like, they find a way. They use Adam Warlock gets a hold of the gauntlet, brings everybody back to life. The universe is fine again.
What if...
But that's the way they get Black Widow and Hawkeye away from the space battle, which I'm sure they cannot pull off.
No. What if Thanos, the entire time, never has all of them? The entire time in Infinity War, he never has all of them. In the whole movie...
And 4, too? Avengers 4?
Maybe he can get them all then. Eventually, he's got to get them all.
He's got it. It would be so dumb.
But in Infinity War, because it's a war over the Infinity Stones.
Maybe.
Like, Thanos can have maybe half. He could do a lot of damage with half. He can do a lot of damage with one. But with half of them, or like 4 of them, like... I think the Avengers can take it. Well, they have to take them because they have a bunch of movies that are coming.
We're the Avengers. We can bust arms dealers all the live long day, but that up there, that's the end game. Oh, I'll tell you what, that marathon that we do before Infinity War is going to be something special. It's going to be something legendary.
Because like we'll even pick up on subtle things that we didn't even catch
from like Phase 1 movies.
Yeah.
Like, so Guardians was the 15th movie. God. And then we have Spider-Man, Thor, Black Panther before Infinity War. So Infinity War will be the 19th movie in this universe.
Yeah.
And then Ant-Man and the Wasp will be the 20th. Captain Marvel 21st. Avengers 4 will be the 22nd movie. Like, that is a ridiculous amount of... That is over 2 days of watching. Like, you would need to set aside 2 days. Yeah. It'd be an awesome fucking 2 days, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm doing... Like, can you imagine when the box set comes out of all of them? I am taking days off.
Dude, it's Dude, it's gonna be the Gauntlet.
Well, I think that's what'll be the Phase 3, because
And, like,
the Phase 1 Blu-ray was the Tesseract case.
Each finger is like, you open up a finger and it's Phase 1, and then 2 with the middle finger.
But like the Phase 1 was the Tesseract case from the Avengers. The Phase 2 box, the Blu-ray box set, was the Orb from Guardians of the Galaxy. You open it up and had all the discs in it. If they just do a straight Phase 3 one, what would it be? I mean, I guess it would have to be the Gauntlet, right? You would think. But,
Maybe.
I mean, there's no other thing so far. It's an iconic item besides that in Phase 3 that we're like, yeah, that should be it. But, God, I'm going to take off like 2 days of work, order like 6 pizzas, Chinese, like get Waffle House to go for the mornings, you know, get some bourbon up in here, and just
veg out.
Have a way that I don't even have to press the remote, that it just jumps to the next movie like continuously. Like, oh,
I don't know how you do
like
that.
we're just like, oh, by the end of the day 2, and it gets to Infinity War. Will we even be excited about it? Is that a question?
Oh, I'm marveled out.
Yeah. I just cannot fathom how giant this trailer will be for Infinity War. Like the hype surrounding it.
What if it's just nothing? Like, nothing is shown. Like it's a bunch of Avengers with their backs to the camera, and then they turn around and just look at something. Like, that's all it is.
I'll take it. I'll take it at that point, because I've been waiting so long for it.
Really?
I don't know.
You wouldn't be at least a little
They're
bit
totally... The first trailer they put out for it, they're totally going to have an interaction between the Guardians and the Avengers.
Oh, they have to.
They have to. Just so, like, people who aren't steeped in this, when they see...
Wait, I got it.
When they see the trailer, they're like, oh, that's going to be cool.
I got it. Star-Lord meets Tony. Like, I'm Star-Lord. And then Tony goes, who? And then he goes, I thought we were over that. They're like, oh, not again.
So I guess he's going to have the Zune for Infinity War. He's going to have a Zune.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, wouldn't it be funny if Cap gave him like an iPod? Like, dude, get with the times.
Oh my gosh! It writes itself.
I mean...
Or what if when Tony's working on something, and he's got some music playing, it's like some AC/DC or something, and then Quill comes in just like, no. Here's what you need. And then he tries to hand him the headphones and the Walkman, and then Tony's like, really? And then he like scans it and throws all the songs up and just plays one, and then they just both nod at each other.
Star-Lord goes, there's a little pee coming out of me right now.
like they just nod to each other and they keep working on their stuff.
Well, that's a good question. Like, who do you think are going to be the compatible members of the Guardians and the Avengers that will work well together?
I think Quill and Cap, because Quill is a great leader.
Well, they're both a man at a time.
I think Quill is a great leader, but he's also a doofus, which is awesome. And I think Cap can
balance that a little bit.
Yeah, because they're both really great leaders, but they're totally different leaders. And I feel like that would be a good balance.
What is your favorite version of every Avenger? Like, what movie was that your favorite version of them? Like, I think Iron Man is still Iron Man 1 is my favorite version of Tony Stark.
You know,
and I think my favorite version of Cap has to be either the first Avengers or even Age of Ultron.
See, with me though,
I like Cap better as a team leader when he's with everybody.
But with Iron Man though, yeah, Iron Man 1 is a great Tony Stark, but think about 3. As okay as that movie was,
that's my favorite acting of Robert Downey Jr.
Tony Stark in Iron Man 3
broken.
It broke him.
He was a shell of a man.
Really?
Shell of a suit.
But seriously, he was broken down, and he had to build himself back up.
The whole movie is like a metaphor of Tony Stark. Like, the way the suit stops working, doesn't come together.
I would say Iron Man 3 is my favorite Tony Stark. with Captain America, I would say Civil War, just because with Civil War, I know you like get giddy at this. You gotta dig your heels in. As much as I don't agree with his views on the whole, on the Accords, I respect it.
Like he stands like a tree. Like what is it? Like what is the line? Like
you gotta
plant yourself like a tree and say no, you move.
Yeah, I don't agree with what he was standing for, but I gotta respect it.
Yeah, I mean definitely.
Favorite Thor is probably Thor. Well,
no, I would say.
I'd say the like the second half of Thor 1. Yeah.
I don't know. I would almost lean towards one of the Avengers Thor, especially Avengers
Age of Ultron Thor.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron Thor.
Because
was a good one.
even the first Avengers one, he was still a little uppity, all about himself. Like he hadn't got over that. like this is beyond you, Metal Man. Like what are we doing here? Shakespeare in the Park?
Well,
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
But think about the first Thor movie, the back half of it, when he like gets the hammer, but not the back half, but the last part of the movie, he finally realizes what it means to be Thor.
Yeah, but I feel like he did a lot of that just for sex.
You think he
I
did
feel
all
like
that
he
for
did a
sex?
lot of it for Jane. I do. I really do. Just because if he had never met Natalie Portman's character, what happens? He doesn't learn anything. And what is their relationship based on? Looks. It is absolutely based on looks. There is no compatibility. That is one of my least favorite love interest things with Marvel. Very, very close behind it would be Steve and Peggy's niece. But
oh God!
You know what though? I'm buying a little bit more every time I watch Winter Soldier, because they did have some connections in Winter Soldier. It was just that one scene in Civil War that felt awkward.
Where they kissed?
Maybe it's just we've never really seen. Well, no, we have.
We've never seen Cap vulnerable emotionally like that. I don't think.
Well, in the first Cap
with Bucky,
with Peggy.
Yeah.
But
with Bucky even more. He is so emotionally handicapped when it comes to Bucky.
Like he shuts down. Like remember, Rumlow said Bucky, and I just, I was a kid in Brooklyn again. Like I just couldn't think right the situation. Like it just shut me down.
Yeah.
Your friend, your pal, your Bucky. What did you say?
Why did you say that name? Let's talk about DC.
See, I was on a roll, man. I was rolling. Well, let's go for the rest of the Avengers. Don't cut the Avengers short. Once we're done with that, we'll move on. So we did Iron Man, Thor, Cap, Hawkeye.
No, Hulk. Let's go with Hulk.
I was gonna say Age of Ultron, but I lean, even though it's not the same actor, towards The Incredible Hulk.
I like that movie.
I love The Incredible Hulk.
With Ed Norton?
It's so different. Although, watching it, I still like it. I'm like, Ed Norton would not have fit with the Avengers.
He would, no. Like, his type of science.
I'm glad they recasted.
His type of, like, his character.
His demeanor. It didn't fit.
Was just, he's like a fugitive on the run, but with Mark Ruffalo, he was on the run.
What's up, guys?
But, well, this looks horrible.
They did such a great job melding him from that Bruce Banner to what we have now.
Oh, yeah.
Like they have with all Avengers. Like they have adapted so much. Like the first Tony Stark and the Tony Stark we have now, and the Cap that started and the Cap we have now is almost flopped. Like Tony's like, we need to like be with the government, blah blah blah. Cap's like, F the police, we got to stand for ourselves. When in the beginning of their arcs, it was flipped.
Yeah. Which
is really cool. So then, Hawkeye, I would say, Age of Ultron.
Oh yeah.
Was my favorite version of Hawkeye. We got actual Hawkeye, not brainwashed Hawkeye.
We got a good amount of Hawkeye.
Yeah. Black Widow, not Age of Ultron. I did not like the Bruce Banner.
Iron Man 2.
Nah.
No.
I feel like she was way too much of just a sex symbol in that movie up until that one
Why are
scene.
you complaining?
Why are you complaining? Well, it felt like a very shoehorned, like, this is for the Avengers kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to think of all the... I would say Winter Soldier, my favorite Black Widow.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
she stayed to her character throughout the movie.
She didn't change for Steve.
She was the double agent the whole time.
And, like...
No matter what.
But she also added something new to Cap's character. Like, somebody was saying, like, they're... Like, oh... They shouldn't have done a Natasha Bruce thing in Age of Ultron love, which I agree with. I did not buy that. That might be the most I don't buy of any love story in the Marvel Universe. And they were like, they should have done it with Steve and her. I'm like, no, they're like a brother-sister kind of deal at this point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Especially, God, it's how awesome is it? And I connect it every time now. The Winter Soldier scene when they're sitting on the bed. It's like, if it came down to you and me, like, and I had to save your life, would you trust me to do it? I would now. Civil War. Black Panther's right up on Bucky and Cap. Black Widow steps in. It's like, she's like, well, Steve, trust me, I have to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't think Black Widow was ever really on Tony's side.
She's never really set on one side.
No.
But she was kind of in his debt a little bit.
Neither was really Black Panther, because I'm sure Black Panther wasn't all about the Accords. He was on that side to get to Bucky, the whole movie.
That's the only reason, yeah.
There was no other Avengers, from the first Avengers at least, right? We covered everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So DC, it's like
best
it's really hard for us to like go like, dude, we're not just Marvel fanboys when we go from, all right, well, let's talk about DC. So Infinity War is going to be amazing.
Well, see, with Infinity War, with DC, let's
I think Justice League is going to be phenomenal.
All right,
really
thanks for tuning in. No, I do think it's going to be something totally different. I think it's going to have to be a different...
Giant.
It's going to have to be a different tone than Batman v Superman, just because...
I want to ask you something about Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Do you not like it as much now every time you watch it? Because my peak of me liking it was like my second or third time watching it. Now it's dropping a little bit every time because I'm starting to get better at picking up like, ooh... Yeah.
I actually haven't watched it in a while.
Like all the bad guys. My favorite is when they go to the office building. It's like, so are all those bad guys just hiding in the ceiling tiles, waiting for them to show up and then drop down? Like, that's one of my favorite complaints.
I didn't think about that.
It's like
oh wait, no, that was in the
CinemaSins video.
Yeah. Man,
CinemaSins can ruin some movies for me.
Sometimes I hate those things.
But sometimes when it's a movie I also hate, I love it. Because it's just like dogging on it.
And it's like, yeah, DC. Oh, well, I guess we're still in DC. We just segued to...
Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think my enthusiasm for that movie hasn't really changed a lot. I loved it the first time I saw it, and then the times after that, it dwindled a little bit, and now I recognize all the bad stuff about the movie, but it doesn't deter me from watching it again.
My biggest problem with the movie is, after multiple viewings, it totally felt like you're trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy right now, which is fine. It's a great movie to try to get a template of and be like that, especially when it came to like soundtrack, like having a kick-ass soundtrack for every scene. There's a new song kind of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, that Will Smith scene with the target practice is still one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
Idiots.
But yeah, so we're 3 movies in right now to the DC universe. Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Suicide Squad. Wonder Woman is next. As of now, I still think Man of Steel is my favorite.
Yeah.
I saw that movie like 6 times in the theater. That's my favorite Superman movie. And I love the old ones too. I love the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. But the Hans Zimmer score with the visuals. And say what you want about that last battle, that it was gratuitous, like, destruction. That last battle, when you saw it in the theater, holy balls, was awesome.
You were eating it up,
dude,
the whole time.
So sweat this.
Stop saying sweat this. Like, it's not gonna happen. Stop trying to make it happen.
This is for them, not for you. Well, it's for you, but you already know the story. So he had seen Man of Steel before me. Yeah, I know, right? This was back before.
God.
This was back before I could.
This is my favorite story.
This was back before I could drive. I think I had just gotten my temps, so like I couldn't actually drive by myself.
Wonderful.
But I wanted to go see it, and I was like, dude, I can't get anybody to take me to see this movie. You want to go see it again? He's like, yeah, we'll go see it again. So we go to the Levy, where if you've been on our live streams, that's where we go to GameWorks and we see movies and stuff. We're seeing it in IMAX. It's friggin' beautiful. Before the movie starts, he tells me, dude, the after credit scene, and then he stops talking. He's like, just, you'll see. Movie ends, credits start rolling, and he leans over to me and he goes, you want me to tell you? And I'm like, fine, just tell me. And he goes, so, pans in, it's Wayne's office, and it's just the back of a chair. Phone rings, cuts to Clark Kent at his desk, picks up the phone, goes back to Bruce Wayne's office. All you see is the back of the chair, it turns, it's Christian Bale, and he says, so I heard you made a little mess. Goes black. Here's the thing. One, there's
none of it happened.
Well, there's two parts of this story that I find very interesting. The first is, how dare you? Like, how dare you do that to me? Like, but you set it up very beautifully that I almost had to give you props. But the funniest part was when it got to the very end and the blue FBI screen or whatever came on, and I looked to my left, he's out of the theater. Somehow he snuck out of there while me not noticing. I guess I was just so focused on seeing this after credit scene. I turned to the left. He is gone. He's in the lobby.
I don't know how I did either.
But the second interesting thing about this is that you kind of called Batman vs. Superman before they even announced it. They didn't announce that Batman vs. Superman was gonna happen until like the next year. Well, it might have been the end of that year, but they had not made that announcement yet.
Like, I called it was gonna they were gonna meet.
Yeah, because they had not announced. Okay, Batman vs. Superman's coming out, which was one of the coolest Comic-Con announcements ever. I remember you didn't even believe me.
Like, well, because I saw the picture and the bat was all fat.
It didn't look like the Christian Bale or the Michael Keaton Batman
not at all.
symbol, but it was the Dark Knight Returns symbol. Basically, it's exactly what it is. It was totally Frank Miller designed, but the way they announced it, you can watch it on YouTube, and it's one of my favorite clips because I'm just like, could you imagine being there for that? So it has Zack Snyder go up, and I think it was the Comic-Con of the year that Man of Steel came out. And he's like, we're announcing we're doing a Man of Steel sequel. We want to just read a little something that's not inspired by, well, it's not like from the movie, but it'll definitely be an inspiration. And if you're a comic book fan, you'll know what it is and you'll know what it means. And we're gonna get, I can't remember the name, but it was the name of the general from Man of Steel. He was also in Batman vs. Superman. The U.S. general.
Oh.
The one that's Batman vs. Superman talking to Lois Lane and stuff. He gets up there and he starts reading from Dark Knight Returns. Batman's speech to Superman when he's got him on the ground. He's basically like, I can't do it word for word, but he's like,
I want you to remember the man.
I want you to remember the man who beat you. And people in the crowd, as he's reading this whole quote, are like starting to murmur and going, "No fucking way!" Like you can kind of hear the crowd start to just kind of murmur and stuff. Whole place goes black. The screen comes up. It's the Man of Steel symbol, and then the Batman symbol comes from behind. That place goes fucking bananas. Like it goes crazy. So it's like. I'm trying to think of just moments where I would have loved to be there. Like Star Wars Celebration with the Force Awakens trailer. With that crowd just like, Chewie, we're home.
Oh my god.
Tears, chills, people are going freaking bananas. There's just certain situations. And I'm really, because they're not doing Celebration next year. They're doing it in 2019 for episode 9. I was gonna say a title, but they don't have one yet.
The
blah, 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 blah,
ninth
blah.
episode
Goes to bed. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi to go back to bed. Like, I'm hoping that we can get enough fan support by that time. That's a year and some change away, about a year and a half and plus a little bit, to maybe get to do this. It's not as much as I thought it would be. I think like the weekend pass was like what, $180 or something like that for 4 days. I'll take it, seriously. I will say though, Comic-Con over in San Diego, they need to move that sucker to someplace bigger, because it's just like
in more
tuna
in the middle.
or anchovies in a can. Like, people are squeezed. Move it to like a stadium. You know what I mean? Like a friggin' stadium, not these small little tight convention centers.
U.S. Bank Arena.
Yeah, U.S. Bank Arena, Cincinnati, Ohio. What a change that'd be. Like, it's been in San Diego for so many years, and it's like, we're announcing next year's Comic-Con, Cincinnati. Everybody would be like,
Where?
Where is that?
Is it still called that? U.S. Bank Arena? Is that still?
I believe it's still called U.S. Bank Arena, but I think they're going to change it soon. I think so.
Comic-Con Arena?
Yeah, Comic-Con Arena. No, man, but they got cool
with special guests.
They got some.
Quinn and Alex
they have
from
cool Comic-Cons
Iconic.
around here that travel, like...
Getting real hyped up.
You're getting real hyped up. Like the Comic-Con that we went to in this past September. It's every September here. It's the Cincinnati Comic Expo. That thing's legit. And that thing is big. And it's getting bigger every year. And one of these days, we're gonna get a table. We're going to get a booth there. Awesome. Like last year, we met Teddy Sears, who was Jay Garrick from Flash. We met Ray Park.
Yeah,
who was Darth Maul and
Toad
from
Snake
X-Men.
Eyes.
Yes. Who else did we meet? We met Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool. That might have been my favorite. We got a picture with him. It's up on the channel's Twitter page.
Stupid question.
But it was genius.
I am an idiot. I'm the worst fan you could possibly
I
meet.
know. As soon as you said it, I cringed.
Like,
I went, shut up, shut up, shut up.
God.
So we get up to the guy.
Wait, okay. It's not just with Rob Liefeld. It was with, like, Ray Park. The first thing out of my gullet was, hey, huge fan. Oh my God!
No, that's not what you said to the Rob Liefeld.
No, with Ray Park. First thing I said to him was, huge fan.
Instead of just saying, like, hey man, appreciate this, like something simple.
No, I decided to go with the most stereotypical thing in my life. Hey, huge fan.
Yeah,
and then nothing.
We walk up to Rob Liefeld.
Oh my God.
So
okay, can I tell?
You can tell what happened. Go ahead.
So, okay. Anyway.
I paid for it.
So, yeah, he paid for a comic to get signed, and he drew like a Deadpool balloon on it. It was cool. So, Did
he sign your Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe? Is that what it was?
Yeah. So, we're standing there, and I don't know why. I don't know why I asked this question. Something so generic. I'm like...
It's making me laugh. It was cringeworthy.
It was so dumb. Don't let me ask questions until, like...
Because...
we need to prep.
Before he tells you what it is, it's like... That is the question I'm sure they've heard at least 2 million times. Every celebrity has heard it about whatever they're famous about.
Jeez. So, and you probably already know what it is right now. So... I get the gall to ask, how'd you come up with Deadpool? And as soon as I said it, Rob Liefeld didn't miss a beat. Like, oh my God, you can look that up online. I'm like, I'm gonna go home and die now. I'm gonna cry.
All right, so I'm gonna bounce off that and tell you why Rob Liefeld is probably one of the coolest celebrities, writers, artists, whatever you want to say, that I've ever come into contact with. Because even though you asked such a cringe-worthy question, dude, I grit my teeth so hard I needed to go to the dentist the next day, because I was like, oh my God, did you really just say that? Why couldn't you have said something like, what are you working on? Like, you know, are you working on anything cool? How was working on the Deadpool movie? Something like that. But you said that, so he goes, man, you know, you can look that up on Google or Yahoo or something. And my heart was in my stomach at that point.
Because I did not think he was going to answer my question.
You thought he was just going to kind of go like man, just one day
I thought he was just going to just like, no, I thought he was just going to say fuck off with that question.
Seriously?
No, I don't think not really say fuck off, but like just not answer my question.
Or just like, man, I get that all the time. Can we like just not today? You know what I mean?
And then what's crazy is after we met him, you had the question that you didn't ask. Was like, what'd you think of Deadpool, like the movie? We didn't even think to ask that.
But here's what happened. He asks the question. I'm like Gollum.
Asks
the question. He asks the question. How'd you come up with Deadpool? He says, man, really? That's the question you got? You waited. He even joked around like you waited all this time to ask that question, the one I get every day. But then he answered the question. Mm-hmm. And he answered it very articulately, almost as if either A, it was like a scripted thing that he's got memorized, or B, it felt like I was hearing something for the first time and it was genius. So you started talking about how Todd McFarlane was currently doing the Spider-Man run at that time, which I love Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man run, but he was like, Spider-Man wasn't funny anymore at that. Like it was all dark. It was like Spider-Man turned into Batman.
Like he was going through a divorce with his
Mary Jane.
No, I mean like the writer.
Oh.
He was going through hard times.
Yeah.
So then his work reflected it, and Rob Liefeld was just like, let's make something fun again. Like, let's make comic books fun and funny again.
Well,
so then
he basically said, like, what did he tell Marvel? He was like, can I basically make Spider-Man with swords? It was something like that. It's like, I want to do Spider-Man with swords and guns. And they were like, go for it. Like, and that's basically how, like, that's really cool how it's like, think about, like, Todd McFarlane doesn't do Spider-Man runs, which were good by themselves anyway. Todd McFarlane doesn't get chosen to do those runs. We may not have Deadpool. And that's why it's kind of cool that Spider-Man and Deadpool have such a cool relationship.
Because Deadpool was modeled after Spider-Man. I mean...
But here's the thing. Rob Liefeld probably talked to us for a good 6 to 8 minutes. If not maybe close to 10. With 30 to 40 people behind us in line.
I didn't care.
I didn't care either. Until afterward, I was like, damn, like, we took up a lot of time.
We just backed up that line.
And I'm kind of surprised that his agents or managers or whatever didn't go, all right, we got to keep this thing moving, you know what I mean? Which kind of, it's cool. Like, he's kind of got that pull where he's like, I can just stop talking to this fan for a while.
Time is money. Like,
yeah, so he's like, dude, they make buku bucks. These celebrities at these comic events, these old people who, like, these old celebrities, like $100,000 to $200,000. But it's like bags of money, bags of cash, because it's cash. Like, here, $20 for an autograph, $60 for a picture, all this other stuff. They make buku bucks.
Buku bucks.
So he's basically like, well, I'm gonna make money anyway. I'm gonna be a cool dude right now. Talk to these guys for like 10 minutes, and the whole it felt like an hour. But in a good way. Yeah. Not like when, like, man, that movie felt like 3 hours. Like, it just felt like it went on and on. No, like, it felt like an hour. Like, I was zoned into this conversation with this guy. And, like, it was like Grandpa telling a story around the campfire about how...
Exactly. And when he was just scribbling the drawings, he was like, he drew Deadpool and was like, see...
It's so easy.
Like, you take Deadpool and then you just put some web shooters on, you got Spider-Man. Like, he drew Deadpool, like, in 3 seconds.
Like, he had a scrap paper, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which is cool about most of the artists there always are they just doodling. Like, that's a skill I would pay a lot of money to have, just to be able to doodle amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, stuff, it's like, some of these people were doodling things wrong, and then they just throw it away. But, that looks so good. Can I have it?
It's like they create this masterpiece, and they're like, nah, they start crumpling it up.
No.
Even then, I'd still take it.
Oh, yeah.
If they pooped on it, I'd still take it.
We didn't
wipe their
Let's
butt.
not get back to poop. Like,
okay.
We didn't even talk about
DC.
No, we did.
A little bit.
Well, let's make theme. Well, I don't want to make podcasts have certain themes, but let's because we started with poop and we moved to Marvel and then to DC.
Yeah,
which, if we were talking about poop, we should have went to DC first. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. I've liked every single DC movie to get off my back, trolls.
Every single DC movie
that has come out in the DC cinematic universe or the DCEU, not like Catwoman and those things. don't get me wrong, Marvel's put out some shitters too, like Ghost Rider 2, The Spirit of Vengeance. That is a dog shit movie. My God.
There's one.
Oh, I can keep going. Daredevil.
Okay.
Spider-Man 3.
All right.
X-Men 3.
All right, calm down.
We can keep going. But we didn't even talk about who was at this Comic-Con. The head honcho.
Dude,
The
okay.
Watcher himself. Stan Julius motherfucking Lee. I don't think that's his real name.
It's Stanley Martin Lieber.
I know. I was giving him a cooler new middle name. Stanley Julius. Like, Julius is just a fun name to like Darth Julius Vader. Like, Stan Julius motherfucking Lee. But, so we were probably, at one point, 10 feet away from him. When we were in line to see somebody else. I think it was Ray Park, right?
Ray Parker.
No, we saw somebody else besides Ray Park, too, didn't we?
Oh, we saw,
Shit the bed, who was it?
No, it was,
This is embarrassing that we're forgetting this.
Lando.
But we didn't actually, we kind of got in line. I think we, got told he's not doing it anymore or something.
And Katana. We saw Katana.
Dude, real quick before we move on to Stanley, Katana, Karen Fukuhara, who plays Katana in Suicide Squad, she is beautiful. She is a beautiful woman, but she looks nothing like she does in Suicide Squad for some reason. Anyway, when we were in line to see one of those guys, we went to the Stan Lee line first, and dude, this line, the red rope they had was at least a mile of fit.
And plus, you couldn't even get in the line.
Apparently we didn't know we were gonna go do it. We were willing to pay a lot of money. Like we were willing to go up to $175 to get. I mean, for some people that may not be a ton of money, but for us it is. Like on the spot, just going, you know what? Here's $175.
It's like, let's go to the ATM right now and get this cash out.
I was going
to you.
I was going to do that. And it kind of made me mad. That's the only time I've ever been disappointed with the Comic-Con situation there. I don't know if it was Stan Lee's people or just the Comic-Con people in general. But you had to pre-order these ticket things to see Stan Lee before you even got to the Comic-Con. You had to do it online. But we're there, and there's literally nobody in line. Stan Lee is just sitting up there all by his lonesome.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off.
And I was like, dude, we are super fans, and we're not the super fans that would go up there and try to touch him and be weird and spit on him and freak out and go, oh my God, baby. We would definitely be in awe.
Oh God, yeah.
Could you imagine shaking his hand? I would never wash that hand again.
I'd be afraid to break it. I'll be honest.
Dude, he looked. I'm not saying he didn't look bad. He's old.
We were 100 feet away, easy.
Well, when we were in the other line, we were about 20 to 10 feet away.
Yeah.
And we were just looking at him, and people had to pass us in line because we kind of froze. For a good
Seriously.
5 minutes, just look. It felt weird, but at the same time, okay.
I don't think I've ever stared at another man or person for that long without blinking.
Okay, so this is the thing that pisses me off about children.
Oh my God!
You're ready for
I know
So
exactly what you're gonna say.
So we're sitting there literally with probably about 5 other fans who are begging this woman to let us in.
Yeah.
There's
no one in line.
There was another 5 people with us going all saying the same thing. There's nobody there. So this kid comes up. Actually, it wasn't even the kid. It was the kid's dad or mom or something.
That's how you do it.
With
kids.
Really, and I'm sorry because I'm sure the kid did a great. It may not even been the kid. It could have been the parents. But it was like a shitty looking doll. Bless this kid's heart if he actually made this thing. But it was just this shitty looking doll that looked like it got put together by a drunk monkey on an island with a couple pieces
I'm
of...
getting mad just thinking about this right now.
Scrap wood. The kid didn't even have the gall to bring it up there. The dad or mom, I forget which one it was. It was the dad.
So the dad
brings it up to the lady.
Yeah, so the dad went up to the lady that was in front, which...
Still 100 feet away.
Now that I'm thinking about it, if we all bum rushed her, we could have taken her out.
We probably would have got arrested.
Totally, but it would have been worth it to get at least within 50 feet.
And they totally would have President Obama, Stanley, Secret Serviced him out of there really quickly.
So the dad gives it to the lady, and I didn't hear what he said.
The dad said, "Can my son give this to Stan?" And she goes, "Well, we can't let anybody buy it, but I'll go give it to him." Goes and gives it to him. Comes back. hunts this kid and his family down and goes, Stan would like to meet the people who made this for him, and me and you look at each other at the same time and go, fuck this kid. Like, I don't think I've ever really hated a child before.
I've never wanted to punch a kid. Now, I don't advocate child violence, but I'm just saying.
At the same time, though, I kind of respected it because I was like, damn, that was the way to do it, too. That was the way to get in.
It's like, okay, but...
But if we did it, or some big, sweaty, fat guy with a beard did it...
It would just be creepy.
But no, when it's a kid, it's fine. Or if it was a hot blonde, you know, just apparently Stan Lee's a womanizer, what I've heard. Like, there's been, tons of pictures of him with, like, these two hot girls on each arm, like, at the airport or whatever. Like, can we get a picture of these? Like, sure. Why not? Like, why not get a picture?
Well, see, the thing is, though, like, if you or me made him something like that, I don't think it would have flown. Like, yeah, okay, I'll give it to him.
They're probably like, it's a bomb. Throw it away.
No. But
she would have literally went like, oh, I'll take it. Yeah, okay. Throws it in the trash as soon as we turn around.
Well, what if we made a card, and it was a very sincere card, and someone would have had to read it to him?
I bet you it gets thrown away. If we give it to that lady, it gets thrown away.
You think so?
9 times out of 10 it does. Even if it's like a book-long thing about how he has affected our lives. And I'm getting a little choked up, I'm not kidding, talking about it, because that's the last chance unless we go to California, because he's not doing a Midwest thing anymore.
That was it.
He's old. He's what, 94, maybe 93. It's 93 or 94. I can't remember the exact age.
That was our one chance.
He looked old. Not bad. And
old. What makes me even more mad, he was
wearing the same thing he always wears, the sweater with the button up underneath.
Dude,
and the
it was
old
on
man pants.
Sunday. It was on the last day. No one's in line. If I were Stan, I would not like to knock Stan Lee because he's probably not in charge of anything
he
here.
Probably couldn't even see if there were people in line or not. He's almost blind, is what I've heard.
If I would have known, I would have been like, hey, how much time? Wait, I only have 1 more hour? Send them all in. Like, whoever's out there right now, go ahead and send them in.
That's what I like. And maybe it just gets different when you get famous. Maybe it just does. And I hope we get to that point one day when we have to. But like I've heard these stories about like people paying celebrities millions of dollars to go to a Comic-Con to say a few things on the stage, like a Hall H. To just say a few lines, like, oh, I'm only going to say a few lines. Dude, if someone said, I'll pay you $3 million to go to Comic-Con, we're like, I'll pay you $1 million back. Like, and then they're like, well, can you say a few things? I'll do a whole goddamn panel. I'll go an hour. I'll go 2 hours.
It's like, I'll go all day. I will go gallivanting through the Comic-Con.
I could do this all day.
I could do this all day.
I mean, but I've heard stories about these celebrities who it's like, fine, but I'm in and out in a half an hour. Like, what makes it click in a person that they've gotten so big that they think their time is just... Don't get me wrong, I do think like, Robert Downey Jr.'s time is way more valuable than my time. Don't get me wrong, like, if they said, alright, we can get Quinn from IconicComic, or we can spend the same amount of money to get Robert Downey Jr. That's a tough call, I don't know, but, like, I do recognize that some people's time is definitely worth more.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
And some people's persona are worth way more.
Yeah.
But when does it hit that point when it clicks in their head that, you know what, I'm just above all of you people? Like,
see, if it were me, though...
I hope I never get like that if we get big.
Like, I don't think I ever will. Because they wouldn't have...
You have to keep us... I don't know why I'm pointing, but, like, you guys have to keep us in check. We've made this a verbal agreement that we will never get huge heads.
I mean, seriously, it's like... The only reason they have a job is because...
Of us.
The fans.
Exactly. Not us, like, by ourselves,
right,
but
just me and you, yeah.
But, like, Robert Downey Jr., and I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is like that. He seems pretty... I mean, I don't know him personally, but what I've seen, like, the charities and stuff that he does, he seems pretty outgoing, especially with fans. Chris Pratt seems very outgoing. Like,
dude!
I'll tell you who might be the best celebrity when it comes to fans. Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
He might be the best fans. Did you see that video? It's awesome if you haven't seen it. Of him surprising the guys who are like in front of the green screen doing the Star Wars lines.
No.
Like they were like Star Wars fans from Star Wars Celebration, and they were just running there, and they put a green screen behind them. Like, we're gonna reenact your favorite scenes from the favorite movie. I want you to say, "Luke, I am your father," and he's got the lightsaber and the Vader stuff on. It's just this fan, Luke, I am your father, and Mark Hamill comes like, no, that's impossible. And these people are trembling. Like, I mean, I want to put together like a bucket list of celebrities to meet. Mark Hamill is definitely on that list. Mark Hamill has to be on that list of bucket list celebrities to meet. I would say Chris Evans is definitely on there. It's celebrities that have affected my entire life. Stan Lee.
Or do you let that one go and just let him be just above everything?
That's the other thing. It's like with these celebrities, sometimes you put them on this god complex, and it's disappointing. Like when you meet them, it's like, oh, well,
because
they were cool.
What if you run into Stan Lee and then he just has a bad day, like he pooped his pants, like he just.
I was thinking more.
Thinking
more along the lines of like he told you to F off, like.
Oh yeah.
There's no way that Stan Lee hasn't told someone to F off before, like a fan, like this just like overly clingy, like sweaty bearded comic book guy from Simpsons looking nerd.
Man,
who don't get me wrong, I love all you guys out there, but I'm sure there's been that guy who's ran up to him and like asked him to do something. He's like, dude, like, I don't think he said dude, but. Maybe he didn't say fuck off, but he probably went like
all right,
not
enough.
Today.
It's like all right, it's enough.
He turns around and just punches him. He's got like super strength. Like,
dude,
see, I'm putting him on that god complex.
See, I'd totally ruin everything. Like, what if
there's some people you want to leave it? It's almost comparative to the Kessel Run. It's like maybe I don't want to see it in the Han Solo movie. Maybe I want to keep it as like a legend.
Like, what if the Kessel Run was like when Lightning McQueen won that first race by a tongue's length, and it's not as epic as you thought?
Yeah, like I would rather it be just this, because we don't even
like
know what it looks like. We don't know what the Kessel Run is.
What if Han Solo made it up?
I've thought about that.
What if it's fake?
I've thought about that. Yeah. I think that could be totally valid, because that's kind of the person he is. He's a swindler. He's a scoundrel. But bouncing back to celebrities,
but he's not a good smuggler because he's famous.
Yeah, but oh my god. Bouncing back to the celebrity thing, if I had to put like a top 5, right, and that's disgusting. If I had to put a top 5 of my celebrities that I would just crumble at the sight. Everybody has those celebrities that you would crumble at the sight.
Before you start, I don't want to meet a celebrity to where
and embarrass myself.
Like, okay, I've learned now. I've
You've been there before.
I've learned. So, like, if I meet, like...
Robert Downey Jr., it's like, so, must suck putting on the Iron Man suit every day, right? Like...
No, it's like, I don't want to ask a stupid question like, so, Rob Liefeld, how'd you come up with Deadpool?
Like, I'm sure Stan Lee gets, so how did Spider-Man just come up? Like, did that just pop in the head, like, one day?
Or it's like, or you go and ask Mark Hamill to say, like... To speak in the Joker voice, like, hey, can you say this in the Joker voice?
Dude, but I kind of... If you got talking with Mark Hamill and, like, had actually a kind of good conversation with him, I bet you would do it. Like, if not twist his arm, but don't start with it.
No, here's a way to do it. Like, you know what? I bet you can't do it again. I bet you can't do it as good as you did in that one episode of that animated series. I bet you couldn't do it as good.
That's so stupid.
I bet you couldn't.
Of course he could do it again. He just did the Killing Joke.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think Mark Hamill has to prove anything.
But I think
this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You have a conversation with him and go like, "Hey man, you're a treasure of a person. I really hate to do this to you, and I hate to put myself out there and impose."
Dude, that would be like as you're talking, he's slowly getting up to just get into a position where he can sprint away from you.
No, I'm talking about like not at a Comic-Con, like you just met him in California or something, and like at a coffee
like I said,
or you had the opportunity to interview him. Maybe you're having this conversation back and forth, and at the end, it's like, man, it was such a treasure of an opportunity to meet you. could I twist your arm and ask you to do one quick thing
You
for me?
literally just said you don't have to twist his arm, and you said the words.
Okay.
I don't want to twist your arm.
Okay, but listen, I can totally see Mark Hamill going like, could you give me just a quick little taste of Joker? And he's like, for you, man, all right. If you've had a long conversation that went well, if you just met him on the street after he's got just walked out of Starbucks and just caught him and go hey, can I hear like TMZ it?
Like they messed up his coffee order. He's already mad.
That's when you get those celebrity FUs. When you're just bum rushing them. I'm talking, you have this actual conversation. It could be at a Comic-Con somewhere where it's just this, maybe like a meet and greet. You know what I mean? Like, you can buy those meet and greets.
Like telling Stan to say...
We could have bought a meet and greet for Stan Lee. I think it was, what, $600?
Yeah.
Like the full giant one.
Like to get him to say Excelsior.
And it was like... Stay tuned and stay iconic.
Dude. Oh my God!
I would... They would be so good, I wouldn't even want to put it on YouTube. I would just quit the channel. I'd be like we peaked. We peaked.
We made it.
we totally peaked.
We won't, dude, that'd be in every single video somehow.
Dude, yeah. Well, here's the thing. What was one of the coolest things it's one of the coolest intros on YouTube. It's the Schmoes Know. They work for Collider now, but it's Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis. They do a live show every Wednesday night where they just talk about movies. They do games. It's just this big live show.
Like what we do.
And but the beginning thing starts with Schmoes Know, and it's Mark Hamill. They were able to, someone set up an interview with them and Mark Hamill over the phone, and at the end they asked him to kind of just like, could we get you to do a little shout out to Schmoville as the Joker? And you just hear silence, and then, well, I've known many schmoes over the years. They're my sidekicks and such. I adore them. All the schmoes of the world unite. Joker's here, and he's glad he is. And that's their intro for every live show, and it's like, that would be the coolest freaking thing ever. Like, to have, maybe not just Mark Hamill, just any celebrity say something, like, about your, like
when on the radio, on 102.7, like, there's a Slash, and there's an EBN, Cincinnati. Just, like they get paid.
Well, how they used to do for Disney Channel, like...
Oh, yeah.
I'm Miley Cyrus, and this is Disney Channel, like something like that. I wouldn't want to pay somebody to do it. Because if I had to pay them, I know their heart's not in it. You know what I mean? I would want to be like, hey man, what if I just get you to say something real fast? And he's like, you know what, man, you got it.
What if we meet someone like who's like not Stan Lee famous, but they're pretty famous?
That's a toughie. Like, that we would cool. Meet around here. Like
no, maybe.
James Earl Jones. Like if he came to a Comic-Con, dude. Thing is with him, because he is iconic for his voice. The amount of times I bet in line for a Comic-Con that people say, "Hey, could you say something for me?" is probably in the thousands. Like of his career, just like, "Hey man," he's like, "No, fucking no," like, no. But real quick, let's go back to 5 celebrities that you would drop to your knees at the sight of meeting and talking to. And I'm not saying you would definitely drop to your knees, but like it would be pretty close. I would say that definitely
Stanley's on that list.
See, we saw him. Are you talking about like touching his hand, like shaking it, and like? And
hi, I'm Stan. Like we know.
It's like, enough said. That's another one. It's like, enough said.
Yeah.
Like I remember when Stanley used to intro all of like the video games.
Yep.
Greetings, true believers, and why can't I remember? Greetings. It was greetings, true believers. But that's the way Marvel Comics always used to start, like an intro from Stan Lee. Greetings, true believers. So Stan Lee, I guess, is kind of up there. If I got to actually like touch his hand, shake his hand, talk to him, he said something to me. Mark Hamill, I already said that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also in my top.
It's hard because I don't want to leave anybody out of that top 5. I'm trying to think of like who would just be like, oh.
Hugh Jackman.
But I don't know.
No.
I would almost go Ryan Reynolds before Hugh Jackman.
Really?
Not like I would cry. Like there's some celebrities where I would literally probably start crying. Like they've affected my life that much.
I guess with me,
Ryan Reynolds.
I've seen more Ryan Reynolds movies than Hugh Jackman movies. So yeah, I guess I could see that.
I mean, Chris Evans seems like a cool fucking dude. Like, even though he has just been an awesome Captain America, but I love him in movies that aren't just Captain America. Snowpiercer is freaking awesome. Have you seen Snowpiercer?
No.
Dude, you gotta see that. It is bananas. It is bananas good.
Jack Black.
I wouldn't freak, but I would.
Dude,
I bet you, honestly, I bet you Jack Black's an asshole celebrity. I bet you he is.
You think so?
I don't know. I don't want to speak ill of Jack Black if you're listening. I've seen some TMZ things, but TMZ's a different animal. Those guys are annoying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here, hold that thought while I hold mine.
Well, I don't know who else I would put on my list.
Keep talking about it.
Like, because there's so many celebrities. I guess if you're thinking like Harrison Ford,
Great call.
I would put Harrison Ford on that list just because of how giant his roles have been. I don't know, like, not Tom Cruise, not John Travolta, not Mel Gibson. Not to downplay the work that those people have, put into their craft.
Harrison Ford is a great call. I'm gonna add that to my list.
Harrison Ford.
That's 3 for me. So Harrison Ford,
Definitely.
Mark Hamill, Stan Lee. Oh.
What about oh crap.
I feel like Robert Downey Jr. is a given. I mean, come on.
Dude, Bruce Willis.
Really? Not lately. If
Really?
it was like 20 years ago, Bruce Willis, yeah. I feel like he's phoned in a lot of roles lately. I'm not saying something like...
Okay.
Like, Looper was really good.
Well, what about The Rock?
Oh! I
Dude.
wouldn't crumble, but that would be awesome.
That would be so awesome.
The Rock is killing the game right now.
Yeah, he's
He is
the
so
highest paid actor
busy.
this year. Like,
He is so busy. Like, the stuff... to stay that jacked while having to act and still do WWE on the side. Like...
Yeah. I don't know how. That's crazy.
That's a good call. Dwayne Johnson is definitely a good call.
Female.
I heard he doesn't like to be called The Rock anymore unless he's doing WWE.
Makes sense.
I feel like you would like to be separated from that eventually.
What about females?
Ooh, I have Scarlett Johansson would be.
You'd crumble.
Not crumble, but I would.
No. We're talking about crumbling.
Take the R out of the crumb. No, but did it take you a second?
You still have a B in there.
I said crumble.
Well, crumb has a B in it.
All right, let's get the head out of the gutter. Let's
Cumb?
stop demeaning women.
Like
let's
cumb?
let's not try to demean women. They're not objects.
What the hell?
There's a moth in
Oh
here.
my god.
It's
Why?
a pterodactyl. It's like a parrot.
Jeez.
Kate Blanchett that'd be dope. I'm trying to think like I feel like there's like
Keira Knightley.
no,
No?
nah. Not really. I wouldn't. I'd be cool to meet her, but I wouldn't freak. I'm thinking of no. I wouldn't freak. I think it's gonna be. It would be cooler, as in like older, not like old women, but like like older movies that I'm just growing up with. Like if it didn't happen, if she didn't pass, Carrie Fisher would definitely be on that
crumbled.
list. Like she would have been on that. Like one, she was awesome with fans.
Mm-hmm.
Because she knew that you're the reason I'm here today. You're the reason I'm famous right now.
Right.
Other females that I would just freaking crumble at the sight of seeing. Megan Fox. That's tough.
But see, it shouldn't be though. I don't think.
No, I'm not.
Because
here's the thing.
It's not sexist. I'm just.
No, there hasn't been a ton of movies that were led by females that just affected me as a kid so much that I would just crumble at the sight of seeing these women. But Carrie Fisher was one of them, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm trying to think too, because like Now you gotta look up movies.
Just to make sure that I'm like not missing anything, because if I miss it, and that's the reason I don't say it.
Oh my gosh, I just
You had it. You had it.
Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. That's a great call.
Sigourney Weaver.
That is see older movies like Alien,
Ghostbusters,
Galaxy Quest.
See, we got it.
Exactly.
We're there. We got it. Man.
That is.
Man, I've been getting some good calls lately.
Emma Stone.
I would
flip my lid if I met Emma Stone.
And I feel like with her, she would be yelling with me. Like, oh my god, you're Emma Stone! Oh my god, I know! Like, it'd be so funny.
Emma Watson. Hermione.
Yeah, I'd flip.
Halle Berry. That's a good call. I wouldn't say she really affected my life, but definitely up there. I already said her. No thanks.
No. Wait, oh my god, Amy Schumer.
No, not Amy Schumer. I'm sorry for an Amy Schumer fan out there. I just don't like joke stealers and not funny people. Zoe Saldana. Gamora. I would be... That would be...
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cool. She's been in other... Star Trek. She was Lieutenant Uhura in Star Trek.
She was also in a movie, think it's Death at a Funeral?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that movie.
I feel like Zoe Deschanel would be a fun person to meet.
I feel like she's so chill. Like, if you started screaming, she wouldn't know what to do.
Amy Adams. It's a good call.
Yeah.
Uma Thurman. That's a good call. A little Pulp Fiction action in there.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson. Dude.
Not a female.
We're talking about our top 5. Like, Samuel
Dude,
Jackson.
I would cry.
I wouldn't cry, but it would just be too awesome of a moment. Like, it would be so awesome that you wouldn't even... The universe would split at that moment. Like,
it'd be funny if, like, you just stop breathing, and he just looks at you like, breathe, motherfucker. Just...
like...
Blink, motherfucker.
What is your favorite Sam Jackson performance?
Oh.
It's... Pulp Fiction is definitely up there.
Dude.
But also... The small amount of time he's in the other guys is really freaking funny.
Django?
I wouldn't say that's... I would say he's great performance in there. I liked him. I liked the movie better than his performance. His performance is good, but I think the movie as a whole is better. I'm talking like his performance in that movie is just stand out. Like, wow. Like, Pulp Fiction is awesome. He is so good in that.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't say any role... Like, he is a great Nick Fury. I wouldn't want anybody else's Nick Fury, but I don't think any Nick Fury role has been just like, whoa. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I've got to go Pulp Fiction for me. I do.
Yeah, I have to say the same.
Big Kahuna Burger. I heard they got some tasty burgers.
That is a tasty burger. Do you got something to wash it down with?
Sprite.
Say what again? Oh my god, that scene's my favorite.
That is a great scene, and I mean, before he got weird, John Travolta might have been up there on the list too.
Before he got weird,
dude, he's cross-dressing weird right now. Not that there's anything wrong with cross-dressers. You guys are people too, and you're beautiful people, but he got a little off the rails there towards the end. He jumped ship, just kind of, let's not talk about John Travolta right now.
Okay. He's not in my top 5. So
I almost tried to do the dance that I did in Pulp Fiction, but I realized there's no camera here and they couldn't see me.
Well, yeah, I can't. I tried.
So is the song, what is it called? That Fall Out Boy does? Uma Thurman? Is it based on Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
She makes me dance like Uma. And then they play like the little guitar riff. Isn't that from Pulp Fiction too? Okay. I didn't know.
Did you not know?
I didn't know for sure. I didn't want to look like an idiot.
No, the guitar that they did, I don't think was in the original song. Like, dude,
it was just kind of in the style of, not that song, but it was in the movie. I feel at some point like boom, doom, 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 doom. I could be completely wrong. I'm just bullshitting that. But
you could be.
I could be.
I think we have 3 now.
3 what?
Actors we would, or no, 4.
If we have if we're doing, let's just do a collective list. So we have Sam Jackson. Let's not put Stanley in it. I don't want, because like you said, let's keep him at that God complex level.
Let's keep him at a legend status.
He's a legend status because we will never meet him. I'm just gonna say that just so that if it happens, we're like.
It's like, dude, do you remember the podcast where you said we wouldn't even meet him? Oh my god!
So let's just say, for argument's sake, we're never gonna meet Stan Lee. Not saying that we are gonna meet any of these other people, but I feel like we have a better chance. I don't know. So you got Sam Jackson, you got Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill. Oh.
Sigourney
Weaver.
Emma Stone.
Well, that's 5. I feel like we should keep going though. Like, there's like so many like, I feel like you have to split it into lists of like genre and categories. Like, so like Marvel people. Like, I would love to meet Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil. I bet you he's a cool dude.
You know,
he's my favorite Netflix actor right now because I feel like more than anybody, and not saying they all play their parts great. I think more than it, he has totally, like, he is one of those. He is becoming a Robert Downey Jr. level of sunken into a role where I couldn't really see him playing anybody else. Like, I can't see Charlie Cox being anybody but Daredevil, but I could see like the Iron Fist guy playing somebody else in a movie. Even Luke Cage to an extent, Jessica Jones, but Charlie Cox is totally in this role. I would love to meet him. Cap is a given. Chris Pratt, like, you gotta put him in a list somewhere.
I don't want to just meet him though.
I want to do a dance off. I
want to like just
touch him.
I want to hang out with him all day. Like, that'd be so.
Imagine
awesome.
like going on a binge, like a drinking binge with him, like just a bender.
Well,
just
because like a lot of people have compared me to Chris Pratt. I'm not talking looks. Other people have said I look like him. I don't.
It's really only the first Guardians movie where he had that, like, and you don't even have that style of facial hair anymore. You've let it grow more. Like, you had that, like, not pencil, but just thin here. You know what I mean? You kind of had the style.
I guess. Anyway, I have been compared to Chris Pratt, like, his personality, by a lot of people. And I feel like me and him could just, like, be great friends. Chris Pratt, if you're listening right now.
Could you imagine, though, like you meet him wherever, he's like, dude, let's go get drinks.
It's like, dude, you thirsty? I'm thirsty.
You thirsty?
Dude, I'm thirsty. Let's go.
And isn't he married to Anna Faris?
Dude!
That seems like the best couple ever. Like, that house must be hilarious.
Dude, hashtag goals.
That house must be hilarious just to be in. Like,
God, I want them to adopt me.
Like, awesome. I bet you he farts on her and, like, she laughs about it. And she farts back. And, dude, see, I love Parks and Rec. Never bought him in Aubrey Plaza.
See,
I didn't buy. It's the one part of Parks and Rec I didn't really buy.
I did.
The only thing I ever liked is that meme where it's like them as a couple is literally like if a cat and a dog got married. It's like we're gonna die of fun. Like if a cat and a dog got married, like that's what it would be like. And obviously she's the cat. But I never bought them. But Parks and Rec's great. It's crazy to look back and look at what Chris Pratt looked like in that movie, and then see him in Guardians of the Galaxy. He is
juiced tits.
Nah,
not juiced.
Actually, to be honest with you, I thought he still looks great. I thought he looked more cut in the first one.
Oh yeah, he did.
Like when he had that shirtless scene in the Volume 2, he was almost like dad bod buff. Like he had abs, but he was thick. Like, not shredded.
He was really fit, though. Yeah, he was just like a thick guy.
Like, he was shredded. Like, he looked like a farmhand who was, like, always lifting up wood and, like, farm equipment. You know what I mean? In the first one where he had that scene where they, like, hosed him down, that was, like, I bet you, like, he worked and dieted so hard up to that one moment of filming just for that shirtless scene.
That one scene.
Well, it's like Chris Evans for, like, Civil War. The hardest he worked out up to get to a peak was for the helicopter scene where he grabbed the rail and grabbed the helicopter and he was flexing and it was like awesome. But yeah, he kind of had the not dad bod, but dad buff in Guardians 2. But looking at him in Parks and Rec, comparatively, it's like, or have you seen some of his like beach photos where he's got the huge beer gut? It's just like, dude, how? That's like, if I ever have the money to do it, if I ever get lucky enough to have the money, I will get a nutritionist and a cook to cook me all my meals. Be like, look, this is the body I want. Cook me the meals to get to this body. Because that's the hardest part about it. Like, it's tedious. It's like, people think going to the gym is hard. No, I love going to the gym. I love working out. I love cardio. I love weightlifting. I love it all. It's cooking all these meals, like grilled like, you know how much easier it is to pull in the drive-thru and grab a double cheeseburger, and how much better it tastes too. Like, there's just something so satisfying about the experience of just pulling into McDonald's and having a 2-minute window between ordering and shoving food into your face. Otherwise, you would go home and spend 30 to 45 minutes cooking a meal. Even if you meal prep for the week, that's an hour or two of your time. And then you have to reheat. It's Tupperware and it doesn't taste good. There's no cheese on it. There's just like...
And there's no grease.
Grease is great. I'll tell you that right now. Grease is... Well, certain kinds of grease. If you are one of those people who think fats are bad for you, you're out of your element. Fats are so good for you. Carbs, on the other hand, is what gets you fat. So... That's the thing about the McDonald's. It's like the buns, and it's like the white bread that's not probably even real bread. It's just enriched flour that has been bleached to death, but it tastes so good. Like, the last time I had McDonald's was probably December, during my bulking phase. So I like cut from April to the end of summer, and then once I stop taking my shirt off, I can eat kind of whatever I want again. I still want to be moderately healthy, but there were moments where I would get a 40-piece chicken nugget, 2 chicken McGriddles, a regular McGriddle, double quarter pounder with cheese, and a fry, and eat it after a lift. There's nothing better than a heavy chest workout where you're benching and doing flies and all this stuff, and you're just in pain, your chest is physically sick, and then you just shove a double quarter pounder with cheese and ketchup in your mouth. Yeah.
Nothing better.
There's just nothing better. And on that note, let's go ahead and wrap this sucker up.
Man, for a first podcast, it's going on 2 hours and 11 minutes.
I thought it was going to be very hard to...
Like to keep things going?
But just like a regular podcast should, it's kind of just bounces, like, from one time. Like, you just have a conversation.
We started with poop and ended with food. What?
There's a cat now. Pussy.
Anyway.
If I had to recommend, here's the thing. When you're doing a podcast, you want to just, you want to be like this. I'm not saying we're like awesome podcasters.
Let's not turn this into a how-to podcast.
No, I'm just saying, but God, how annoying is it to turn on podcasts and hear the generic radio voice, like, when you're just fucking talk, man. Just have a conversation. That's what people want with podcasts. At least that's what I want. When I listen to podcasts, I love listening to just conversation.
I think we succeeded.
Exactly. I think
so,
we did.
So, hey, why don't we close this out?
Okay.
Man? All right. So,
real quick, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Just looking forward to a couple things on the channel. We're still gonna get you that Guardians of the Galaxy commentary up shortly. Make sure you go. This will be on our YouTube channel as an audio only, but we will also have it on iTunes. But hopefully, we will be able to get a video element to this pretty soon, which I don't know if it's going to be that interesting to you to see us talk with a video element. But
maybe.
If you guys want it, let us know in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. And like I said, we got a ton of new content coming out there. Go check out our Waiting in the Line segment. Go check out our Patreon account.
It's clean. It's clean.
Go check out our Patreon account, and we're not going to give it away until the final product is done, but we got our first round of our t-shirt designs back. We're getting excited.
Dude, it's looking great.
It's getting real.
Now it's in the revision stage, and it's going to be awesome.
We're going to do a 5-shirt giveaway to 5 lucky few. We'll figure out how we're going to do that and what the constituents of the
As we get closer to it, we
competition
will definitely let
will
you
be-
guys know.
But then, if you guys want T-shirts, you gotta let us know. You gotta show us the hunger for it. If we don't hear the hunger for it, we can't spend the money for 20, 30 T-shirts at a time. So let us know.
Okay, hold on. Let's hold off on the T-shirts and let's actually...
I'm just getting excited because
Okay.
this channel's going off the wall, dog.
Let's just close this thing out. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been fun. We had fun doing it. Hope you guys had fun, too. Make sure, if you didn't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything.
Whether you're on iTunes or YouTube.
Yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything from this channel. So make sure that you guys like,
comment,
share,
subscribe,
so that you don't miss anything from this channel.
or this podcast station on iTunes. Yeah.
All right.
We gotta find out a way to end this differently than our YouTube
We will.
videos.
This
This is an evolution.
It's the pilot.
This is
is the
the
pilot.
pilot. The poop pilot.
This is the poop pilot.
Oh my god, we're not titling it
All
that.
right. Make sure you guys stay tuned.
Stay iconic.
And cue music.
Holy Grail.